Um, uh, I did my therapy session. It was okay. It was just like talking to a guy at a bus stop, and gave me some good ideas. Like basically like kind of what I said about what you do now. Like he's like, well, like what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I'm looking back to things I used to do um, before I got Aquila. But before I got Aquila, I had like 3 jobs, so I had to look back before that, which is almost like 2 decades ago. And I'm like, well, I biked and canoed and camped and like those kinds of things. And he talked a little bit about canoeing, and I'm like, yeah, man, I went canoeing with Aquila, and like Aquila would always capsize the canoe, and I didn't want to leave him at home, and so I stopped going canoeing. So uh, now this will be a good opportunity to get the canoe out and get back into that. So that helped. Like all the messages that people left here helped. I didn't respond to very many of them because like a lot of the times responding like triggered the memories, and I get to crying, and then I'll get back to those comments, and then and then I write some more and get to crying, and it's not like I don't want to cry a lot because I do want to process the emotion, but I want the emotion to come to me. I don't want to go to it. Like if I'm going to be sad and cry, that emotion's going to have to come all the way here. Um, and I've done a lot of crying, so yeah. But talking to friends here in Portland has been really really helpful, and a few other friends that I message on Facebook has been real helpful. Get a ton more exercise is real helpful. Been like doing workouts in the morning. Been doing short bike rides almost every morning. I skipped a couple because I've been getting exhausted. Uh, I cut out alcohol like a week ago, and I could feel the stress level. I could feel the fact that my stress level seemed easier to cope with. Um, like you drink some beer and you start getting sad. Like so. It's not that. It's just like beer makes you more melancholy, makes you more emotional. Um, so it helped to cut out beer, and also cutting out beer improved my sleep, and getting better sleep also lowered my stress level. Exercise was lowering my stress level, or my emotional barometer or whatever. Like, just felt a little bit more even, which is good. And also that was a huge roller coaster. I was not doing good at all, and that was like emotionally draining. So I don't have energy for much else, like video games, movies. I canceled all my movie subscriptions except for Amazon, which is I like using Amazon, but god damn that company. Ugh. Mm. Oh, this thing happened. Every year, like I kind of miss a couple days of vacation. They're like, "Oh, you used up your time," and every year I'm like, they say like, "Well, it could happen this way, this way, this way, or this way," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, damn it. I guess next year I'll just be more careful, or I'll use my sick time to make up for it." And this year it was the biggest chunk ever. This year I've been at my work 14 years. I've 4 weeks vacation, and almost 2 whole weeks were gone. And like, oh, there's so many different reasons why that could be, and I just kept like 2 weeks just can't vanish. 2 weeks of free time, not even free time, paid free time, can't just vanish. Like, cause I'm sure I didn't use them up. Cause every year I feel like that makes me suffer by not being able to be away from work when I should be getting paid to stay home or go canoeing or go camping. Because I've earned it, a decade and a half at my company, and it's something that I'm entitled to. It's something that I've earned. It's something that they give me, and I want it. And I don't know what the deal was, but like at first it was real difficult, and I just kind of kept at it. And they're like, well, let's look, let's find out exactly what happened. And what happened is there had been a mistake in the system. And so suddenly my 2 weeks come back. So glad. See, I'm like, people who are overly assertive get right on my nerves. Because people could be overly assertive about napkins. I was watching this one particular guy, just like micromanaging everything happening around him at all times. And I thought, God damn, how exhausting. And also how petty if it's everything. Like, you want to be assertive because it's important. If you're assertive just because assertive allows you to, like, constantly, like, you know, grab a hold of people like they've got handles on them, that's just some BS. There's something wrong. And so this is something I should have been assertive about a long time ago, and I wasn't, because I trusted in people. And I also try to be really agreeable, and I don't know. I think that has led me over and over again a lot of times in life to allow things to happen that then put people on the defensive, put people on in the wrong. Especially, like, I think one guy that had done that to me with my vacation time a couple of times, I think he figured it out. He figured out he was actually taking my vacation time away from me accidentally. And I remember, like, kind of confronting him about it, and he didn't say that he knew that was the case. He just said, "I'm so sorry." You know, so he was embarrassed about it. But I've had people get real angry at me. I mean, the classic, which I say all the time, is this person said to me, "Why did you let me get away with that?" They were angry at themselves and angry at me because they knew what they were doing, but they kind of expected me to be assertive and to push back. And then it was kind of funny that I just allowed something to happen. It made them feel powerful, or that they could control me, or that, I don't know, like, I'd never let anybody do that to me. It made them feel like superior. I don't know what it is, but over and over again in life, my lack of being assertive has haunted me in a wide variety of ways. So I guess, I mean, that needs to be a part of, like, I'm thinking about, the reason why I'm thinking about this is, like, not only because it just happened, but, like, part of my new chapter of life, that's going to have to be part of it. You know, I have to be more assertive. I have to make sure that I get, you know, what I deserve, and I have to know what I deserve to begin with. You know, you can't wait till someone takes something away from you before you're like, well, maybe I should fight for that, you know? Oh, boy. I'm going to have to go through this entire room and kind of wipe down and clean everything. But I suppose that's the thing now. Now I have lots of time. Like, now I have time to focus on myself and things that I want to do and my needs, and I'm not wasting time trying to avoid what's happening. Like, as Aquila started fading away, I went hardcore on, like, I bought, like, different movie services. I drank more beer than was smart. I played way more video games than is healthy. Way more screen time than is rational. Because I couldn't face the fading away of my dog's life. And then as Aquila faded away, I faded away. And I could see it, I knew it. And some people warned me about it. Other people said, you know, some people said it without a whole lot of compassion, but I heard their words. That's one of the things, like, is that just is what it is. Like, I was involved in a time of my life where I was involved in kind of a catastrophe, and I didn't know how to cope, and I handled it badly. I didn't handle it awfully, though. I wasn't awfully bad at handling it. I just handled it badly. But until you're in a situation like that, you don't really know how you're going to handle it. And if you've never been in a situation like that, like you're in uncharted waters, and your focus might be, depression focuses you on a certain thing, and it was focused on Aquila, and it just, like, did not focus on myself. Which is another thing about being assertive, besides being assertive, that's another thing, is, like, focusing on my own health and my own goals is like a super important thing I should be doing in my life. And other important things could happen at the same time, but my goals and my health and my future should always be right up there too. It should never, nothing should ever fade that away. And it faded away for me in the last 3 years. So. And I've had bad things happen before in my life that took years. I've had situations in my life that was like years of something bad happening. And I don't think or know that you could avoid it, and probably not. You could probably shorten those times down. You could probably help alleviate how much suffering's involved. But there was a half moment where I thought like, God, that was kind of 3 years wasted, and it wasn't wasted at all. It was 3 years of experience. Over the last 3 years, I haven't been as happy as I have been, but it was 3 years of a sad time of my life, and I didn't handle it overly well, like I said, but I wasn't horrible either. So, I guess I gotta like say like, I don't know how you'd say it, but like, if I was talking to me, if I was somebody else talking to me, I'd say like, hey man, that's just, you did pretty good, and you made some mistakes, and that makes you wiser, and you're moving forward. You're obviously moving forward. So that's about what you could expect with life. If you're just master at it, you wouldn't need to live it, right? Right. It's cobwebs everywhere. All right. Thank you guys for your support and all your messages. It was really, really important reading those messages. Just often very, very emotional. I was reading those messages when I was really, really emotional. It's part of the difficulty. When things are a little bit more settled, I'll probably at one point in time feel good enough to go back and look at those videos and watch me feel those emotions. You know, be able to see a video of Aquila doing something and have it not make me cry. All right. See you in the tubes.